Hey YouTube, and welcome back to the next game of my YouTube series. Today we have Delhi versus English on Dry Arabia. The Delhi player is Kirov, Diamond 2, playing on the Delhi. The English player, Free Cartoon on the Road, is the English player and Diamond 3. So, as always in the beginning, some information about this matchup. I think this is one of the hardest matchups for English overall, because even though English is super strong in the feudal age, Delhi is just stronger. They can get out a lot of units in a really short time because they can put the scholars in the production buildings and they basically have double the production rate because the scholar is increasing the production rate by 100%. And then English can get overwhelmed really quick. And again, Delhi is most likely going to play horsemen and archers. So again, English longbows are really slow, so if you end up being out of position, you might lose a lot of units. So, again, nothing too much to say about the early game, not gonna talk about the build orders. Players know what they're doing, so we're just gonna speed it up a little bit. Take a look at the map. Delhi has pretty good food source. First berries are kinda in the back, second berries in the back, and also the deers are kinda in the back. Because if you end up getting pushed back versus English and you have no more access to food, it can be quite problematic for Delhi. But so far the map is looking really good for Kirov. So, let's see what the players are doing. So far both players are just going for the fast feudal age. All upgrades are running for the Delhi player. So far so good. English aging up with the council hall, 3 villagers on it, and Delhi is about to age as well. I wonder if he's going for Tower of Victory here or for the... okay, he is going for Tower of Victory. That means his infantry will have more attack speed. I think you can go both landmarks. I think Tower of Victory is fine versus English. First of all, if you go for a lot of archers, yeah, having more attack speed is obviously good. And if you try to go for earlier castle age and go for men-at-arms, the men-at-arms with the Tower of Victory buff, they are really strong. So we can see right now the English player is going for stone. That means he is going for a second TC. I hope the Delhi player is scouting that soon here, because one thing you have to keep in mind. If the English player is going for a second town center, it means he has no way to keep up with the early military production. It's already tough, as I said already, to keep up in the early game. But if you go for second TC, it's going to be even harder. So right now we're going to see only 2 villagers so far in stone, but more are coming. So yeah, it's confirmed. A second TC will come up for English. I think the Delhi player scouted it. So what the Delhi player should do right now, as soon as he hits feudal age, he should instantly go with stable, get some horsemen on the field, and try to get the map control going. He's also not getting the sanctity instantly. That's a big mistake. Also, if you play Tower of Victory, I think it's really important to go with a second monastery or a second mosque, because right now you have only one mosque and you have to make scholars and you want to research your upgrades. So if you play Tower of Victory, you should always build a second mosque. This is gonna delay your feudal age, not your feudal age timing a little bit, because you have to get an additional 150 wood, 100 wood I think. Yeah, you have to get additional 100 wood to get a mosque, but you have to think about, you want to make scholars and you also want to research. So right now he's making a scholar and he's delaying his sanctity upgrade. And when you play Delhi, it's all about the timing. You want to get your sacred sites going as soon as possible. And if you play it like this, you will obviously delay yourself, because right now the sanctity will finish at 8:25 and you can capture the sites as Delhi at the 7-minute mark. And if you capture all 3 sites at the 7-minute mark, you get 450 gold a minute. And if the English player is going for a second TC, he has no units to fight over these sites. So you can go for a relative super fast castle age. Your window is in feudal age into early Castle Age as daily to kill English. Because the longer the game goes, the harder it gets. And especially if English is on 2TC, the eco will outscale, obviously. So you want to hit a good timing. And if you go for that build, and your Sanctity is that late, you already give away a lot of advantage. Okay, we can see the first horseman is on the field. But yeah, because the English player is on 2TC himself, not too much coming from his side so far to contest that. Archery range is coming up. And again, because you have only one mosque, it's also painful to pull your scholars out of the mosque and put them in the production buildings. Because you also want to increase your research. But if you don't have scholars in the production buildings, you obviously don't have that many units on the field. So yeah, the second mosque build is probably way better here. It gives you advantages on all things. You have more military because you can put the scholars inside of the production buildings. Your Sanctity would be finished already. Yeah, it's just small things, but they stack up and they get to a big problem. Because the sacred sites could be captured at this point, and the English has one longbow. So there's no way for him to stop you from getting the sacred sites. So right now you could have had all 3 sacred sites already. That means you can get 450 gold a minute already. And if you have so much gold income, you don't have to mine gold. You're not mining gold already because you're floating a lot of gold and you only have one mosque. So you can't spend your gold right now. But yeah, if you had these sacred sites going already, your eco would be in a way better spot even though he's on 2 town centers. Because if you have 450 passive gold income per minute, it's equal to 11 villagers. And right now you're 5 villagers behind, but if you had the sacred sites already, you're technically 6 villagers ahead, instead of being 5 behind. And yeah, right now, you just give the English player time, and all he needs is time if he's going for second TC. So, his economy is scaling, he has his production buildings now, he has a blacksmith, he can start researching the upgrade soon, and he will start making units at one point. And you don't have that many units at this point to be super aggressive. And also you only have 2 scholars, because again we went for the 1 mosque build. So if you have more scholars, at this point your upgrades are researched. You have the blacksmith upgrades still running, but the important upgrades, the ecotex and the mosque upgrades are finished. So at this point you can pull your scholars out of the mosque, bring them up to your units, heal them, dive into the woodline for example, pull them back out, maybe you force idle time, maybe you kill a villager, and if you have the scholars there, you can heal them back up. But now it's 9 minutes and 15 seconds, and now you start capturing the sacred sites. But again, the sacred sites would be captured since 2 minutes already. And now the problems are starting to stack up, because English is making units, you are not that far ahead in units, and you're just capturing the sites. And the biggest problem for English against Delhi is to deal with the early mass of units. But because you are not macroing pretty well here, you have 900 wood in the bank, and you have still only 1 production building with no scholars inside. But you take 2 sacred sites at this moment, so again your eco is starting to get better. You got 300 passive gold income per minute now because you have 2 sacred sites and you're about to capture the 3rd one. So as long as you hold them, it's not bad. But right now you should try to go Castle Age already, because the English player right now has to deal with the sacred sites. So he's trying to break the wall, he has to decap, then he has to move to the next side. Maybe you can wall this one as well and this one. But right now your main goal is to go Castle Age, because that's where Delhi is the best at. You go for Castle Age, you make a lot of men-at-arms, you make a lot of knights. That is your game plan. It's just about putting on some pressure in the early game, and right now English has stuff to deal with because the sites are captured, so he has to stop that. So if you go Castle Age right now here, and you make a lot of men-at-arms, and you have Tower of Victory, so your men-at-arms have more attack speed, you also have the +1 defense upgrade already, so it's going to be super hard for English to deal with the Castle Age men-at-arms at this point. And English is nowhere close to Castle Age. He's just making more units and just trying to get back on the map, decapping the sides, and after he decapped the side, he's trying to push you. But by the time he's pushing you, you can be Castle Age already. And if you play it like that, the game is just over. Now you decide to go for more archery ranges. because yeah, you don't have too many scholars, so you can't improve the production rate with them. So yeah, right now you go for more production buildings, but again, you are floating so much wood, so going for more production buildings is not a bad call here. But again, look at your resources. You are close to Castle Age. If you have a marketplace, you can sell some wood and buy some food, and you can go up to Castle Age. Then you can make 4 or 5 barracks instead of making more archery ranges. Because again, the English player is still working on decapping the sites. He's not pushing out yet. So if you macro to Castle Age, you're about to hit Castle Age in maximum 30 seconds. And he is not close to your base yet. So again, he's sending units out. He's trying to decap the other sides. And as soon as these 2 sides are decapped, he's trying to put pressure on you. You have a forward wood line, so that is a problem probably. And right now you're just making more archers. But look at your resources. You just gotta buy food, or maybe get some villagers out of the queue, and you can go Castle Age already. And then you can just make men-at-arms and pick up the relics. Try to capture the sacred sites again as soon as your men-at-arms are out, because you will have the map control if you have men-at-arms. But right now he is trying to push you, and that's the problem I was talking about. You're going up to Castle Age now, but this might cost you something. And yeah, the English player has 20 longbows on the field now, and these 20 longbows can get to a problem. So, you're going Castle Age now. You have 1 stable. So right now you have no production building, expect the stable that can make Castle Age units. But you know he has a lot of spearmen on the field already, so making knights is kind of counterproductive here. So you have, again, tons of wood. By the time you start aging up to Castle Age, you want to make barracks or whatever production buildings you need to counter his units. So in this case, he has spearmen and longbows. So man-at-arm is the perfect call here, especially with the Tower of Victory build. Okay, let's see what you're doing. Another thing as Delhi, if you are about to age up, what you want to do in most of the cases is get your scholars out on the map, send them to the relics, so by the time you hit the Castle Age, you can immediately pick up the relics, like you're trying to do here. But you can have a scholar here already, here, and just get the relics as home as soon as possible to get that passive gold income going. But yeah, now you're Castle Age, you still only have a stable, 1 stable, and in this stable you're researching right now the upgrade to Veteran Horseman. So this stable is not able to produce any units in the next 3.5 minutes. So you make a second stable because you want to make some knights probably. But again, the English player is still not in Castle Age, he is aging now. But if you had the production building set up, aka barracks, and have some scholars inside of them, you can have a lot of men-at-arms, and you can push him back. And if you have men-at-arms on the field, he is not able to get up his white tower here. Right now you're just giving him time, and time is what the English player wants. You killed 8 villagers behind this, so good job raiding. You're only 11 villagers down, even though the English player is on 2TC since 9 to 10 minutes. So, but you have to think about, the English player still has his unit ball. He was not losing any units because you were not putting pressure on him. And right now he's about to go Castle Age. He's on 2TC, he has a lot of farms already. And he would just upgrade his units, and you will end up having a really bad time here. But again, you have 1400 food, you have 1400 wood. Right now you're only missing gold, but the gold is coming. You pick up the relics. You should probably send way more villagers on wood, on gold. And if you go up to Castle Age with the Compound of Defender, what you want to do as soon as you finish the landmark, you want to first of all start researching your technologies, and you want to start mining stone, because you want to get the keeps going as soon as possible. You want them to lock down areas, you want to start producing more villagers out of it. And as Delhi, you have infantry on the field, so you can also wall with them. So right now you could have probably walled here, and you could have walled here. First of all, you secure the berries, you secure more wood, And of course you can do this on the other side as well. You just secure map control, and if you have villagers down here and you are walled from here to here and here to here, you don't have to worry about them. But yeah, the English player, right now the upgrades are coming through. So right now you're still making only archers, but your archers take a long time to upgrade first of all. The upgrade still takes 20 seconds. His upgrades are coming through now. So even though you were castle age 2 to 3 minutes earlier, he has the better upgrades already. And now the problem is beginning, because you are not using the strength of Delhi. Right now you're banking 2,200 food. You could have had so many men-at-arms with these amount of resources, and you could have pushed the English player really hard back. But now the English is in the position he wants to be. He starts adding the towers, he gets vision, he also gets the network of castle buff, and now his units are upgraded. He is on double TC, his eco is in a good spot, and now he's just starting to make ramps and start pushing you back. But if you had men-at-arms here, or a keep here, because you have the compound of the defender, so you should have had your keep up already. So if you make a keep here, for example, or if you have map control, if you made men-at-arms earlier, you can maybe make a keep here, take the sacred sites again, and utilize the bonuses of your civilization. But now he has a lot of men-at-arms, spearmen, and archers. So his archers are better because they're longbows. Even though you have Tower of Victory, his archers are probably still better. And he also has a lot of men-at-arms with armor clad. That means his men-at-arms have 7 armor right now. And you only have archers and 3 knights. But if he's microing well, your knights won't be able to go on his men-at-arm. And you have no counter for his men-at-arms. So right now, you have a unit versus his spearmen and his archers. But the men-at-arms will be a problem. Unless the mangonel is coming in clutch. But the English player is aware of the mangonel and is trying to take it down. And right now you start to lose production buildings. And you build all your production in front, so these rams can just clean it up without any problem here. And yeah, we can see the eco. The English player is spending his resources most of the times really good. And you can still see you have 2,500 food in the bank and you have a lot of gold. So that could be, for example, 25 men-at-arms. I mean, men-at-arms right now against English men-at-arms. Probably not the correct call, but you could have done that way earlier. And right now, you're just getting pushed back. You have no map control anymore. You're about to lose your outside resources probably if the English player is starting to raid that. And yeah, you're losing your production buildings, you're getting pushed back, and at this point, there's not much hope left unless you go for a really clutch Wololo maybe here. So yeah, the game is over soon. I'm gonna pause it right here. So let's summarize the mistakes of the English player, the Delhi player. So if you go for Tower of Victory, you want to get your second mosque. You want to start making the scholars out of one mosque, and you want to research out of the other mosque. So your sanctity upgrade can be finished by 7 minutes, so you can start capturing sacred site at the 7-minute mark. And by that time, the English player had 1 longbow. So if you do that, you have so much gold, you can just buy food, you can have a few horsemen on the map, use your cavalry movement, and try to keep the English player busy. And if you have 3 sides, you have so much gold income, you can just buy food and go castle age. And the play here is to probably go for a lot of men-at-arms, and the game could have been over at like the 12-13 minute mark. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's game. Yeah, see you tomorrow, guys.